Hello friends, in this video I'm going to discuss Precis writing. I'll discuss the qualities of good Precis, how to write Precis, do's and don'ts of Precis writing, and more tips. So without wasting time, let's get started. Precis writing. What is Precis writing? So Precis writing means making intelligent summary of a long passage. Alright, it's like a summary, and you have to shorten a long comprehension. All right, and so to write Precis, one should have a clear understanding of the passage and able to include all the essential points present in the original passage. So that is what Precis is, and some general consideration you have to keep in mind while writing a Precis are: learn to shorten your word. Alright, your expression should be laconic and brief, concise. Alright, we'll see all of them in detail. So a Precis is one third of a passage. For example, if a passage have 300 words, then your Precis should have 110 words. Alright, that is the length of Precis. So it depends on the passage, original passage, and it should be one third of the original passage. So what you have to do in Precis writing, you have to remove unimportant or unnecessary or redundant information or sentences, and only include the things which are most relevant and important, and it should be brief gist, or you can say the crux of the whole passage, and it should be expressed in writer's own words. And then a Precis should be full. For example, that is, it should contain all the essential thoughts, ideas, facts in an original passage. Okay, you should not have to add your own ideas, but the things which are discussed already in original passage. And it should not contain repetition or observations that are not relevant. Alright, you have to include only relevant information and cut out the irrelevant one. And Precis is always written in reported speech. You know about reporting and reported speech. Reporting speech is direct speech, and reported speech is the indirect speech. And Precis to be in reported indirect speech and in third person and past tense. Now the techniques of Precis writing are: there are 3 steps involved that you have to follow in writing a Precis, and that are reading, writing, and revision. So in reading, you have to read the given passage carefully to get the idea or theme of the passage, and it will have the good thing is that if you find out the main thing, crux of the passage, it lead out to your topic sentence. And these are the things you have to keep in mind while reading the passage. And now come to the process of selection. And the writer of Precis writing passage has to be decide that what are the facts or ideas that must be included in Precis. You have to decide which information to be included and which is to be excluded. And second step is writing. You have to prepare a rough draft after reading, and that is not the final one. Okay, it may contain some irrelevant info or many more unnecessary details. So after making a draft, you have to proofread. Okay, all right, and then you have to again remove the unnecessary information, redundant of ideas and extra info. So in the passage, the ideas it contained, the opinions presented, and conclusion arrived at should figure out in rough draft. And then you have to shorten this rough draft and then give a finalized draft. All right, and then you have to make a finalized draft, and then next step is revision. So carefully go through your final draft and then proofread it, and then make point out some mistakes that you have done, grammatical mistakes or spelling, and then you have to correct them in revising. And don't forget to give your Prezi, don't forget to give your Prezi a title. Alright, title is very important in a Prezi, and you have to give it which is relevant to the passage, the ideas, main idea of the passage. And now we'll see the qualities of a good passage, a Prezi. A good Prezi. A good Prezi is marked by clarity, brevity, and precision. Alright, and it should be written in Prezi writer's own word, and it is the miniature version of the original passage. So this miniature version means something which is smaller, but it contains the main ideas that were in original text, and it should have a logical order and well connected ideas. The order that is present in passage, you have to follow that order, and there must be cohesion and coherence and use of transition and linking devices, and it must follow the order of ideas of the original passage, and it must have a title, and it is written in reported speech, and it must not contain any details not found in original passage. You should not have to give your own opinions, bear in mind. All right, so these are qualities of a good Prezi, and now we'll see do's in the Prezi. What are the things we have to do in Prezi? All right, so start your Prezi by highlighting main ideas, the main themes or the crux of the passage, and then compress and clarify a lengthy passage. You have to compress the lengthy passage and retaining important concept and information and keywords and ideas, and remove what is extra or superfluous, alright, redundant or repetition. And remember, the mentions about history or writing about history should be done in the past tense, and state the purpose of research or the piece of writing that you are given. You have to state the purpose of the it. That is important. And now we'll see don'ts of Prezi. What are the things you should not do in while writing a Prezi? Do not express your own opinions, wish, remark, or criticism. Avoid that. And do not insert any question in your Prezi, and do not use abbreviation or contractions, and do not be a jockey. So this suggests that most probably you have not understand the sense of passage properly. Alright, so adding irrelevant info, repetition, this will ruin your Prezi. And this is a sample example I'll discuss with you. So this is a passage. It is about physical impossibility of well-educated intellectual and brave men to have money, the chief object of thought. So if I read this whole passage and then I have to write a Prezi, then the main points I have to highlight is money making is common attraction in life, and second main point of the passage is but it cannot be principal aim of well-educated intellectual brave person. So these are the two important themes, crux, main ideas, and argument of this passage. I have to focus on them, and then I have to delete or omit the unnecessary details, and I have to compose a Prezi which is 1/3 of this passage. Alright, so this is the Prezi of this sample passage. Alright, so this is all about Prezi writing. The notes are in the description. Thank you for watching.